Okay, at 6:03, we will be holding the city council meeting for the city of El Centro. If I could, roll call, please.
Councilmember Carter,
Present.
Councilmember Elliott,
Present.
Councilmember Marroquin,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Camarena,
Present.
Mayor Crenshaw.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Very good. Thank you. Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Councilmember Carter, please. Can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join us by placing your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could continue to stand, please. Councilmember Marquez, could you lead us in the invocation?
Almighty God, we come together as stewards of the resources entrusted to us. Please come upon us and be with us throughout this meeting. Shine your light upon our ideas, our discussions, and our deliberations. Enable us to speak our truths clearly. Help us to listen to each other and to discern its meanings. Guide us, O Lord, so that we may be united in the spirit of mutual respect and exchange of ideas and goals. We seek your guidance and inspiration in all our thoughts and decisions. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
City Attorney, do we have anything to report out in closed session?
No, there are no reportable actions from closed session.
Thank you. All right. The City Council welcomes your input. At this time, members of the public may address the City Council on any matters that's not listed on the posted agenda. Pursuant to the Brown Act, no action will be taken on any issues brought forth under public comments. We will ask that you please fill out a speaker slip and submit it to the city clerk prior to the start of the meeting. Although you are not required to identify yourself, this information on the speaker slip assists the mayor that all persons wishing to address the council are recognized, and also assists the city clerk in preparing the city council minutes. Unless the mayor extends your time, there will be a 3-minute time limit for each public presentation. Any information provided on the speaker slip is voluntary and will be public record. I do have some speaker slips here, so we will call on you, and we'll start with Sheriff Kelly. Right during it. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much, Mayor and esteemed council members. I'm Sheriff Cowie with the Ivy Regional Chamber of Commerce, and on behalf of the Chamber, we would like to invite you to our annual dinner on September 23rd. We will be recognizing organizations and individuals from the community, and we will also be going over our progress from the last fiscal year. We also wanted to say that we were very excited to be planning the upcoming 80th annual Christmas parade with the City of El Centro and the Los Vigilantes, and we will be announcing the theme at the annual dinner.
Secondly, on behalf of the Imperial Valley Regional Chamber of Commerce, we would like to invite the community for a grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony that is happening tomorrow for AUL Steel, and it's going to be at 5:30 p.m. located at 264 Main Street in El Centro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions, Council? Okay. Moving on. Public comment for Albert Zambrano.
Good evening, Mayor and members of El Centro City Council. My name is Albert Zambrano Jr., and I was born and raised here in Imperial Valley. I just want to say that I support moving forward with the proposed data center because our valley needs more jobs, investment, and better opportunities. This project could create construction jobs and permanent jobs. It could also bring more customers to our local stores, restaurants, hotels, contractors, and other businesses. The data center has followed the required legal and environmental process. We should give this project a fair chance and judge it based on facts, not fear and misinformation. Data centers are engines of growth and opportunity. The United States and China are competing to lead the future of technology and artificial intelligence. We must wake up and understand that the communities across the country are competing for these investments. We should not allow Imperial Valley to be left behind. This project could give us, our young generation, our young people, more reasons to stay, work, and build their futures here in Imperial Valley. Let's move forward responsibly and make sure the people of Imperial Valley receive real benefits from this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I hope I don't pronounce this incorrectly because I can really not read this as much, but Hector Casas? Casas, all right. Sorry about that, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members, administrative people. My name is Hector. I represent the Imperial Valley Computer Manufacturing Data Center Project. And like Mr. Zambrano said, this is an economic impact benefit to the whole community of Imperial County. As you may know, there's a lot of negativity towards the data center, and most of it is misinformation. The economic impact just in tax revenues alone for the project currently in play is $98.3 million a year in tax revenues. I mean, that could really help this community quite a bit. The other is the jobs. The first 2 years, there's going to be 1,688 jobs, temporary construction jobs, and then about 150 jobs permanent. Indirect jobs is probably going to be 300 to 400 jobs related to the data set. Last week, there was a gentleman that misinformed that a data center is going to affect the property values everywhere in the county. If you're going to invest $8 to $10 billion in a data center, do you think that's going to diminish the property values? There's studies out there that indicate contrary to that. So to make a long story short, there's a lot of not public, but money from people that don't want a data center anywhere in this country. One of those investors is China. That's who we're fighting with. And they're the ones that don't want a data center. They want to be ahead of everybody in this war. So think about what this will do to the Imperial Valley. And if there is a data center in the city of El Centro, think about what it'll do to this community, what you can do with those funds. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. No, actually, public comment, we would probably, okay. Thank you. And Mr. Rios, Mario Rios.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Rios, if I could ask you just to speak a little bit into the mic, it was.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you. So, good evening, Major and members of City Council. My name is Mario Rios, and I am here tonight because I want to support bringing the data center to Imperial Valley as well. I was born and raised in this lovely community. Like many people, I want to see Imperial Valley continue to grow and create new opportunities for the people who call this place home, as I call home. I understand that some people have concerns about the project, and I respect those concerns. I believe it's important that all our questions are answered and that the project is held to high standards. At the same time, I also believe that we should be afraid of new opportunities. If a project can bring jobs, investment, and help our local economy while following the proper environmental rules and regulation, then I think it deserves a fair chance. For many For many years, we talk about bringing many more business and better paying jobs to Imperial Valley. This could be one of those opportunities. I would rather see our young people have the options to build their future here instead of feeling like they have to leave to find good careers somewhere else. I'm not asking anyone to ignore the concerns. I'm simply asking that we keep an open mind, review the facts, and make a decision based on the best for the future of Imperial Valley. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
City Clerk, do we have any other public comments?
No other public comments.
Any online?
None online.
Very good, thank you. We'll move on to, in our agenda, to consent agenda number items 1 through 6, and would require a motion.
I motion to approve items number 1 through 6 under the consent agenda.
Have a motion?
I'll second.
Second. City Clerk, just so I don't have a screen up either.
Yeah. I would say.
How about now? Do you see anything?
I see Google. No.
So I was going to go ahead and check your screen real quick.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Very good. Thank you. We'll move on to new business. Community sponsorship, Imperial Valley 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb event presentation by City Manager Robert Sawyer.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Tonight you have before you a community sponsorship request from the Imperial Valley 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb Committee. It's a nonprofit organization who represent fire, law enforcement services, and other stakeholders throughout our community. Their priority is to ensure that the Imperial Valley continues to support, remember, honor, and pay tribute to those who tragically lost their lives during the September 11, 2001 events. Tonight, the request is before you, and my recommendation is the city manager's $911 donation, which is consistent with prior years.
Very good. Any comments?
No comments. I'll give a motion though.
Good. Entertain a motion.
Yes, I will give a motion to approve the $911 for the stair climbing event.
No, I'll second.
9/11.
9/11. I'll
Okay.
second. Sorry, who's second? I'll second.
We have a couple seconds.
We'll have a couple of seconds. Motion passes 5-0.
Very good. Moving on to item number 8, community sponsorship, Amana down Imperial Valley presentation. City Manager Robert Sawyer.
Yes, I'm not sure if we have a member of MANA here in the audience. I believe we might. Go ahead and come up if you don't mind. So this is the local chapter of the National Latino Organization founded in 1974 by Latinas who recognize the need to create stronger pathways for education, leadership, advocacy, and support for Hispanic women. The organization established to support and provide these opportunities to succeed, and that mission continues through the local chapter today.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. My name is Nancy Salcedo, and I am one of the co-chairs for Las Primeras Manatee Imperial Valley. I want to start off by thanking you for your continuous support year after year. Last year, with your support, we were able to award over $37,000 to 60 local Imperial Valley students. This year, we hope to make it an even better year. Last year was our best year yet. This year, we hope that we make it an even better year with your support. We submitted a sponsorship application this year. So we hope that you can join us. Our gala this year is September 18th at the Old Eucalyptus Hall at 6 p.m.
Good, thank you, Nancy. Questions, council? So I, you know, as the years go along, we have several requests that come through, so we're very mindful, but did you have a recommendation?
Yes, sir. Just a reminder, our total budget for city council sponsorships is $4,000 for the year.
Right.
The upper levels of the requested packet would be far beyond that. So I'm recommending $500 donation consistent with prior years.
Very good, and that's, I actually kind of was waiting for that because that's what I was referring to, is we get a lot of requests. We try to spread that out evenly as best we can. If we had more, we would give more for certain.
Completely
So,
understand, yes.
it's a great cause and certainly worthwhile, but at this point, I'll take a motion to accept that recommendation.
I would like to motion to approve the community sponsorship for Mana de Imperial Valley.
I'll second.
Motion second.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Motion passes 5-0.
Very good. Moving on to item number 9, approval of unrepresented confidential employees unit MOU, Dulce from Human Resource.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. So I'll be presenting the next 8 items for you.
Thank you.
So the first one will be the unrepresented confidential employees MOU. The compensation of this MOU will be paid by the general fund. The unrepresented confidential employee resolution expired on December 31st, 2025, and the pay increases that are being presented are as discussed by City Council. In addition, the classifications identified in the compensation study conducted in 2025 as being below market shall be eligible for an equity increase added to the base salary. So the modified terms and conditions agreed to in a tentative agreement are being presented to you for final approval. Major changes are as follows: 2.5-year agreement. There's the equity adjustment if eligible as per the compensation study. There's a 2% cost of living adjustment, one that will be going into effect on the first full payroll of January 2026, the first full payroll of July 2026, and July of 2027. Something that I've heard most employees, if not every employee, is happy. Maybe not safety because they might not qualify for this one, but there's a full day holiday increase for the Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve day. Previously was half days. The bilingual pay increase from $40 per pay period to $50 per pay period. And with this, I am looking for approval of the resolution of the City Council of the City of Centro establishing terms and conditions of employment for unrepresented confidential employees for January 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2028. If there are any questions, I'm open to answer those.
Questions?
No.
So, because you're going to be up here for numerous ones, I will just want to put that out there that because of the salary study, this has been a very lengthy ordeal. And certainly we would love to have this come back. And I saw that January 26th, that would have been a retro because all this should have been and could have been, well, not could have been, but because of, but getting the study in and getting the whole thing out and then trying to correct a lot of things that were that would make it fair and equitable across the board to all city employees. I won't do this for everyone, but I just wanted to make this the first one to let it be known that there was a great deal of conversation, decision-making that went into every one of these, and hopefully we will have the best result that we possibly could have for the employees. They are the backbone of the city. We fully understand and recognize that as a council, and we look forward to moving through these as we get through them, not just this one, but in upcoming dates. So with that, I have no other questions. This is an action item. Would call for a motion, please.
So I would like to motion to approve the MOU for the unrepresented confidential employees unit.
If we could hang out, I jumped the gun a little bit. We had a question here, so your motion will hold, but yes.
Yeah, it'll hold. I just wanted to make a statement, since Mike stated that, and I'm going to repeat what I've said before, but I want to make sure that it's heard again. It's not that, I know not everybody is happy when things like this happen, but it also was so long overdue that these, not just employees, but the temporary employees, that the city was prospering off of temporary employees that had 20 years as temps. And I don't know how it went this far, but it did. And again, the same can be said about the employees not receiving wages increases in line with the cost of living for so long. And because there were such great jumps, and because I'm not happy with the individual or the companies that we used as far as the comparisons and so forth, the wage studies, they were everywhere. A lot of the time was us trying to clean up and compare, have cities that were compatible and so forth like that, to make sure that it was fair for everybody. Is it perfect? It's not. But we're going to try to go back and work with it, because I really feel like I did a lot of that as an individual, of that person's job that I shouldn't have. And I think when we deal with these type of things and we're looking at wages and a person's salary that affects their ability to live and stay in the valley, those things need to be taken into consideration from the beginning, and make sure that there's something solid put in place, that if you're going to compare to one city, it's across the board, not pick and choose who you're going to pick from and so forth like that, because then that is where, as a city, we could get in trouble. Because I can see when we have positions that are not compatible to other cities, but that's also, again, when we have titles that are just given and not initially planned out and put through other cities, to make sure that when we do salary compensation or salary studies, that that they are in fact compatible to the other ones that we're doing. So I'm hoping that we can get a better company, I guess, is what I'm looking for, and consultant, to be able to do these, so that we don't waste so much time questioning and questioning and waiting and looking to make sure that we're doing as fair as possible to everybody. So like I said, I'm not happy with this consultant, and just would like to go forward with that.
Very good. Mr. Mayor, also just to add to Councilmember Camarena's comments, maybe Dulce, you could explain why, because somebody maybe watching, you're wondering, why are we giving 3 COLAs, January 26, July 26, and July 27? You could just explain that for everybody.
Yes.
That's maybe that doesn't, hasn't
Yeah,
caught
so
up.
that's the cost of living adjustment. We are retroing it because, like I mentioned, the current MOU expired on December 31st of 2025, and our employees were not getting their COLA. So we're retroing it to that point, which is January 1st or January of 2026.
Yes.
And then since it's a 2.5-year contract, we're giving them their additional COLA for the upcoming year and the upcoming year, which
Yes,
is what
well,
they deserve.
Just wanting everybody to understand that. This has been postponed for so long that we are so far behind that we're two COLA
Yes,
behind.
we're two
And two
COLAs
COLAs behind now.
Yes, now.
Exactly. So we're doing the best we can to inherit this kind of, behind process situation. And we're doing
Yes.
the best we can to catch up with everybody across the board. Thank
Yes,
you.
everybody.
Very good. Thank you very much. And we have a motion on the floor by Sylvia. So do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Very good. Thank you. Item number 10, establishing terms and conditions of employment for Community Development Director. Dulce?
So again, here before you is the Community Development Director Resolution. For this one, it's presented as discussed by City Council, and I will be going over the major, the modified terms and conditions as per the attached resolution, which is a 3-year agreement. This one's a little bit longer. It runs from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. The monthly salary will be $13,750, and this individual will get a 2% cost of living adjustment retro to January, as we discussed, 2026, and then again, July of 2026, July of 2027, and July of 2028. And the Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve will be now full day holidays. And again, the bilingual pay to $50 per pay period. And with this, if there's any questions, and if not, I'm looking for approval.
Council with any questions on this one? If not, do we have a motion?
So I would like to motion to establish the terms and conditions of employment for the Community Development Director.
Have a motion?
I'll second.
Have a second?
Motion passes 5-0.
Moving on to item number 11, establishing terms and conditions of employment for the Director of Public Works.
So before you is this, the Director of Public Works resolution. Again, the pay increases are as discussed by City Council, and they are being presented to you for final approval. This is also a 3-year agreement running from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. Monthly salary is $15,000 per month. There's a 2% cost of living adjustment retro to January of 2026, an additional one July of 2026, July of 2027, and July of 2028. Full holidays for Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and bilingual pay to $50 per pay period. With this, I'm looking for approval of the resolution of the City Council establishing the compensation and employment terms for the position of Director of Public.
Thank you very much. Council, any questions on this one?
No, I would like to make a motion though.
Motion being made.
Or to establish the terms and condition of employment for Director of Public Works.
I will second that, please.
I have a motion and second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Moving on to item number 12, establishing terms and conditions of employment for the Librarian Director.
So this resolution, again, is the resolution for the Library Director, and pay increases as discussed by City Council, and modified terms and conditions are being presented to you for final approval. This is a 3-year agreement, January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. Monthly salary is $12,083. There's a 2% cost of living adjustment, one for January, retro to January of 2026, July 2026, July 2027, and July 2028.
full day holidays for Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, bilingual pay to $50 per pay period. And I'm looking for approval of the resolution establishing terms and conditions of employment for the position of library director.
Very good, thank you. Any questions, council, on this item? Seeing none, is to have a motion?
So I would like to motion to establish and approve the terms and conditions of employment for the library director.
I'll second.
Have a motion second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Moving on to item number 13, establishing conditions for employment for the IVLECC Network Administrator 3. Dulce?
Mayor and council, I'm going to give Dulce a break if she'd like to sit down. I have kind of an opening introduction here for this topic. And before I move on to that, in reference to item 12, our library director is out ill. That's why she's not in the audience tonight. We're sending her our best wishes on that.
Yes, of course.
So items 13 through 16 on your agenda, establish terms and conditions of employment for personnel in total 4 assigned to the Imperial Valley Law Enforcement Coordination Center, commonly referred to as IVLECC, located here in Imperial County. IVLECC is a multi-agency law enforcement coordination center supporting intelligence, investigations, and enforcement efforts of local, state, and federal officers and agents throughout the county. Its primary focus is on drug trafficking organizations, violent crimes, border-related crime, and other major criminal activity. All of our local agencies have personnel assigned there, including the City of El Centro. The city coordinates through IVLECC with agencies such as the Drug Enforcement Administration, Homeland Security, Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Sheriff Department, and so forth. HIDA funding allows these agencies to coordinate regional efforts, and it really kind of frees up the burden of some of the finances that are involved with that on our city general fund. So HIDA is high-intensity drug trafficking area. It was established by Congress under the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1988 to improve coordination between federal, local, and state law enforcement and tribal agencies. It is overseen by the Office of National Drug Control Policy, ONDCP. It receives bipartisan support from both the major parties there in the states, I'm sorry, in the capital. There are 33 regional HIDAs throughout the United States, covering all 50 states. And the one that we're a part of is San Diego County, and then Imperial Valley has its branch. So we have 2 of our potential new hires here, not new to the city, I should say, in the audience with us. And we have the director here tonight as well. The other 2 are out and we're not able to attend tonight. I think it's important that we understand kind of the overall purpose of tonight, and that is we're looking to bring these employees into the City of El Centro and to become the fiduciary for these employees. All funding, including all salaries, benefits, payroll, time off, everything is 100% covered under the federal government reimbursement policies. There is minimal to no general fund impact on these employment efforts. I'm sure there's a lot more I could say. I could probably talk for another 20 minutes, but none of us want to hear me talk. There is the director, Tom Eilers, here in the audience, the assistant director, Michelle Lopez, and Nick Singh, our Intel analyst supervisor. I may have got the title wrong. I apologize, Nick. All 3 have been with the LECC for a number of years and a tremendous benefit to the city. So if there are any questions, I will defer to them in the audience, but I'm also happy to answer anything as it comes up. If there are none, then I'll turn it back over to Dulce.
So it's not really a question, but it's a comment. Having worked with LECC in my capacity as a law enforcement officer, you think of Imperial County as a smaller community. Geographically, it's a very large community, but in population. But we have one of the best LECCs in the nation. I know back when San Diego did some squeezing efforts on the border, we had a big push through this area, and we've always been a corridor in this area. And there, across the country, information from this LECC has been used to, fight crime nationwide. I recall an incident where we did a simultaneous search warrants along many states based out of cases that were from here and coordinated through the LACC. I hold them all in very high regards. I welcome them aboard. It is a little bit unusual as being a fiduciary to this, but we really did our homework to make sure that all the T's were crossed, the I's were dotted, that these were what they were needed to be, and were at least on my behalf, and at least the pulse I got from the council is we're happy to assist in this. So with that, is there any questions by council?
I just had one question. You stated it would be no to minimal impact on the general fund. What would be the minimal impact?
We don't anticipate any. I don't speak in definitive terms. All the salaries, again, benefits, total compensation package, and any purchase of information, purchase of evidence funds that we oversee will be 100% reimbursed. That applies to any pension and everything else as well. So I don't anticipate any, but I don't like to speak in definitive terms to cover myself.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Okay, thank you.
And if I may, I believe there might be even a positive too.
There is a positive to this as well. The 10%, the city will receive a 10% administrative fee to cover the cost of personnel that administer payroll and seek the reimbursement and so forth. What's that? Speaking of HR, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up that this is a concerted effort between Human Resources, Finance, the Police Department, and our city attorney. It took a lot of effort to get this to the table today, not because it was tough, but just because we wanted to make sure we had everybody in agreement with it, and it's fully supported by all departments.
So by byproduct, Chief Brown, you just got 4 new employees. So
soon, once you vote, sir.
Well, yeah, I did put the cart in front of the horse. Any other comments here? With that,
well,
Dulce,
before we do that, unless you're going to have Dulce continue.
I was.
Okay, perfect. There's one thing that we need to address before you make your motion.
Yes. Okay. So as discussed, all of the employment costs associated with these positions will be reimbursed by HIDA, which are the federal funds. We were not completely sure that the administrative leave would be reimbursed. So today we received notification from David L. King, who's the Executive Director of San Diego and Imperial Valley HIDA, confirming that administrative leave will be reimbursed. So accordingly, we will be adding a provision granting 64 hours of administrative leave consistent with the management provisions, that are similar to their positions. And this provision will be added to the 4 employment resolutions prior to execution. So
before we move on, I would like to also add that because their salaries are paid through the HIDA program, salaries are determined by the board, the San Diego County Board that Chief Brown is currently the chair of. So in case anybody hears the salary and wonders where we came up with the amounts, those are not set by city staff. That is set by the HIDA board itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good for them.
The word I heard was fully reimbursable, so that's. Our city attorney, did you have anything?
That was it.
That was to cover. Now, would that be a side agreement or side letter to this, or would it be wrapped up into it as a?
It'd be wrapped into it. So if you're voting to adopt the resolution, it would be adopting the resolution as amended by the administrative leave.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
And so I believe you covered the background and discussion. So now I'm looking for the adoption of the resolution establishing terms and conditions of employment for the IV-LECC Network Administrator 3. The base salary based on the federal GS scale will be set at $146,632. And with that, I'm looking for approval.
Any further questions by board? Do I have a motion to adopt with the amendment?
The amendment? Yes, I will motion to establish terms and conditions of employment for the IVL ECC Network Administrator 3 with the amendments that were stated.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Very good. And we are moving on to item number 14, establishing terms and conditions of employment for IVLECC Finance Manager Resolution. Dulce?
Yes, so this one mirrors exactly the previous resolution. It'll be amended as well with the admin leave prior to execution. I'm looking for approval of the IVLECC Finance Manager Resolution. Salary per year is $185,902 based on the federal GS scale. And with that, I'm looking for the approval.
And again, this would be with the amendment.
With the amendment,
Okay.
of course.
Any
Oh.
comments?
Oh, no, I was going to do it.
Sonia, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I would like to make an motion for the establishment terms and condition of employment for the IVLECC Finance Manager Resolution with the amendment.
Very good.
I'll second.
We have a second. You're starting to breathe a little easier, so you.
Motion passes 5-0.
It's winding down.
Okay. Two more
Item-
to go.
I'm sorry. Item number 15, establishing terms and conditions of employment for the IVLECC Intelligence Group Supervisor Resolution.
So the IVLECC Intelligence Group Supervisor will be, the base salary will be $146,632 based on the federal GS scale. And again, this resolution mirrors the previous two. With that, I am looking for approval of the resolution establishing the terms and conditions of employment for the position of Imperial Valley Law Enforcement Coordination Center Intelligence Group Supervisor as amended.
Very good. Thank you. Can I have a motion?
I will motion to establish terms and conditions of employment for the IVLECC Intelligence Group Supervisor with the amendments.
Motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
You have a second?
Motion passes 5-0.
Very good. So item number 16, establishing terms of employment for the IVLECC Deputy Director Resolution. Dulce?
Okay. Again, the same, this resolution, the IVLECC Deputy Director Resolution mirrors the previous ones. And the annual base pay is $178,226. In addition, I want to add that I was provided with Michelle's maiden name and will update the resolution with her married name prior to execution. So this resolution will have two amendments, the name correction and the admin leave. So with that, I am looking for approval of the City Council establishing the terms and conditions of employment for the position of Imperial Valley Law Enforcement Coordination Center Deputy Director as amended.
Very good. Thank you. Do I have a motion for this item?
Yes, I would like to motion to establish terms and conditions of employment for the IVLECC Deputy Director along with the amendments that were just stated.
I'll second.
Amendment or motion second?
Item passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for us, Susan? No, just kidding. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for that. At this time, I'm going to put on that we are going to pull item number 17 and revisit this at a upcoming council meeting. Adriana, so that will be your item. We'll be moving on to item number 18. Item number 18, authorize approval of submittal of a grant application for the California Strategic Growth Council Community Resilient Centers Program Implementation Grant. They couldn't make it any smaller, huh? You got backup too, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You get upset, he did it.
Okay. No, this is an item that Chief and I have been working on with our consultant, Karen Leventhal. And so the item before you is request for authorization to submit a grant application. So today is not really reviewing the grant proposal itself, but just giving us authorization to proceed and move forward with the completion of the grant application, and then providing authorization to our city manager to sign any and all documentation related to this grant application. Okay, so a little bit about the grant. This is a Community Resilience Center program, and this is funded through the Strategic Growth Council. Prop 4, which we California voters approved a while back, enabled these funds. There's 55 million in total for the state. And the application will be for a full 10 million. And so the purpose behind this grant is to support planning, development, construction, and retrofit of facilities that improve preparedness for climate-related emergencies, protect residents during public health and disaster events, and support vulnerable populations to provide year-round community services and resources. And so the infographic before you, just identifies public protection. This is why Chief is here, climate preparedness. A lot of these items are related to climate resiliency. As to the timeline for the grant opened July 2nd. We are requesting, there's planning and implementation grants. We're requesting an implementation grant. This grant is due September 25. And if we are considered successful, we would go through an interview, and then subsequent to that, they would announce awards in spring of 2027. So the proposed project that we have before you is a facility you may be familiar with. It was the site of the old Mayan and the El Centro Public Library. And the project is to develop a community resilience campus within the downtown area, consisting of 2 complementary facilities, a fire station and community resilience center. Together, both of these facilities would enhance emergency response capabilities in the community while providing a public accessible neighborhood resilience center capable of supporting residents during emergencies and also offer year-round community programming. The property is 1.446 acres at the southeast corner of State and 6th Street, and it is outlined in the section in blue. So for us, the campus represents an opportunity to leverage state funding. As I mentioned, we are requesting the full amount, which is 10 million. And to develop a transformative public safety and community resilience project in downtown El Centro. This would serve as a public-facing component of the campus and would operate year-round, and that would be the Resilience Center. And it would also be a neighborhood resource. During emergencies, the facility would function as an emergency shelter, cooling center, clean air refuge, emergency communication center, and resource distribution hub. During non-emergency periods, the building would provide community meeting space, emergency preparedness education, and workforce development opportunities. We intend to include a commissary, which is one of the desired, one of the needs in the community for our local restaurant business. This is just a segue to allow Chief to speak on the proposal and the needs for it. This is just a rendering just to kind of get your mind going as to what that corner could potentially look like. And Chief?
To touch on it, what Adriana mentioned, right, is that we're talking about a resiliency center, and that goes hand in hand with incorporating it into a fire department. It just makes sense, right? We're talking about the ability to stand something up 24/7, with the fire station being housed and staffed 24/7. There's no calling required. We have the capability to stand up a shelter immediately. It opens at the moment it is needed, and it's opened with trained professional staff capable of rendering the need in times of an emergency. Again, on-site medical capability. We're talking strictly from an emergency standpoint, and from this perspective, right, is that area services a large call volume. It would, in a time of emergency, stand to reason that that same area would then generate the same amount of calls, right? Is that we would face a large call volume from that particular population. So having it integrated into a fire station with on-site medical capability just makes sense. We've said before that Fire Station 1 does cover 57% of the total call volume. You see here 59% of that total call volume is medical aids that they cover. We talk about an old building, right? We all know Fire Station 1 is built in the mid-40s, opened later in the late 40s. So having the opportunity to seek a grant that can provide this service to the community at the same time, bringing up one of our facilities to contemporary standards is a great opportunity. Again, when you're building it into a fire station, you're incorporating some of the features that we have to maintain service 24/7, regardless of things such as outages and other interruptions, service interruptions that you might see during a disaster. On-site water storage facility, backup power, things of that nature. To be able to be self-sufficient, incorporating into the fire station and gives that added benefit. I think where he really shines is from the community partnership perspective, is that the disasters happen, not that they're happening few and far between, but they don't happen with the same frequency that we can leverage this from a community partnership perspective. We're talking about existing agreements that we have already, as I've identified here, an agreement that we have with the American Red Cross to utilize facilities within the city, stand up shelters, things of that nature. This fits right in the wheelhouse of what they're looking for, and we would anticipate rolling that into the agreement. That's just the American Red Cross. This opens up opportunities elsewhere for other NGOs or other organizations that we can partner with to expand the services that this facility could provide. And I think the benefit that we're looking at and would be most exciting about this and where it really services the community is the year-round community programming. It's something that Adriana pointed out in previous slides. Resiliency is not built in time of emergency. From an emergency management perspective, the resiliency you build into your community is off time when there's no disaster, right? The blue sky. When everything is fine and dandy, this is when we build and incorporate that resiliency into our community. As such, we identify health and wellness programs, workforce development. Something that we do within the fire department is the emergency preparedness and education with our CERT program, which is in a community emergency response team where we teach the community to be resilient and self-sufficient during times of emergency. That's where something like this would shine. It allows us to host and facilitate that type of education to the community to build that resiliency that is, within the name of the program. And again, it kind of goes and captures that whole community resilience where we can, again, work with partners that we already know that make sense, but then again, look to those that we can incorporate to add to the versatility of the services that we provide to the community. So that's my little bit I have to say on that.
And with that, you have a resolution before you. And this is not to approve the project itself, but to submit a grant application. Through the grant application process, we would continue to mold it, work with local nonprofits in order to make this project viable. One of the unique features about this grant is that it requires a collaborative governance structure. So the city would be the lead applicant, but we would work with other nonprofits in the community to make the project a reality.
If I may, one of the mentions there was in EOC, an Emergency Operations Center. This is just 1 foot forward in the project. And if we're looking long-term, getting a project started like this is going to take a lot of infrastructure funds, more than the $10 million will cover. However, once we start the ball rolling, we're able to enroll for other grants or apply for other grants to establish emergency operation centers and everything else. There are other pots of money out there available, aside from Measure P and general fund monies, that we can pursue once we determine that this is the course we want to take at the site.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, one of the things that you had brought up is, even if we were fortunate enough to get the full asking of based on some of our capital projects already, we've seen how these buildings are very costly. And I love the idea. The fact that we're utilizing city property and then of course, there'll be a question, what would happen to the old Station 1, but that would be a question that's easier to, but I'm also worried or concerned because we also have Station 4 on the horizon, and I'm looking at our bond from an overload on being able to secure some of this. So I'm always down for asking for money, but if that money is tied to that we have to come up with money, what if those other pots of money are not available to us? Where does that leave us with this? And I'm not trying to pour, no pun intended, but water on this project, but I'm trying to be realistic about how this affects the bonds of our city. Because I mean, if I was to ask you right now, what is more important, Station 4 or the revamp of Station 1? And this is a very busy station. There's only one answer to that. It has to be one of them. So, and maybe you guys have answers to that. That's what I'm asking.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
In regards to the bond issue, you're absolutely correct. Measure P has a sunset in approximately 20 years. We already have some bond commitments with the library and the police department, and we use it for other infrastructure, parks and recs, and a number of other things. So when we're looking at the ability to build out stations 1 and 4, or whatever the new numbering system is, Chief, you have to forgive me for not remembering what that is, because countywide we've changed our structuring for how we number stations. But here, for this purpose tonight, stations 1 and 4, we don't have the financial ability to do that, even with Measure P sitting here tonight, and we recognize that. This is more of a gated project where we start with one and we kind of roll it into the others. And if Station 1 doesn't come to fruition at this location, that may be something that we have to consider right off the bat. But the Resiliency Center, having $10 million to start and be able to collaborate with some of our other community members and groups, that is a start. Same thing with the Emergency Operations Center. There's separate grants for that, and there's additional funding down the road, but we kind of need some guidance on what the direction this council would like to take. By no means will this $10 million be utilized for Station 1 to be relocated. It's far short of what we would need for that, but it is intended for a resiliency center that kind of goes hand in hand with what the scope of that area could look like.
Well, I was kind of basing it on that rendering.
Yes, it is leveraging state resources. We are calling it Climate Resiliency Campus, and the way we are proposing at the moment, it would be joint. Yes,
Connected,
yes,
yeah.
I do want to be transparent.
I mean, the need is obvious in both locations, but I think what I've said before is most concerning to me is the age of the building of Station 1 right now, and the what we don't know is behind the wall since 1947. We want to ensure that our employees have the least amount of occupational injuries through illness or what have you in that time, and also be comfortable, rested, and ready to go when they're called, especially because it has the majority of the calls in the city. I think going back to one of the slides where you're saying about the cooling center, and I believe I saw one about night, is that like a night shelter?
During inclement weather, yes, it would be.
And it says that we don't have one. Identifies expanding overnight capable cooling centers as a priority to mitigation goal. And I think that goes right hand in hand with what we've been discussing, or a number of us have been discussing regarding night shelters. Being able to bring those in. I know we call it the day center, but I think we're playing with words here. And let's not fool ourselves. It's a shelter. It's a shelter in the day. It helps those people. They shower there, they eat there, and so forth. We can say day center if it makes us feel well, but it's a day shelter. And we need to expand that into a night shelter as well, especially when we're right here in priority 2. It's listed as one of the goals and we have none. I think it's important for us to open up a night shelter as well. So I think being able to, is this the grant, Adriana, with the California
Yes, this
The
is the
one
one we had previously.
that we talked,
met.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important also being able to, hopefully with the fire, be able to look at in the future, some of the things that have been spoken about as far as the servicing of engines and so forth, which would also bring, hopefully some type of, income back into the city.
Correct. When we
However
discussed
minimal.
this as a committee, kind of brainstorming, the property lends itself to future use. And one of the things that's missing currently from all fire service countywide is a comprehensive repair facility. Currently, all of the fire stations that I'm aware of, the county, Brawley for sure, and the city of El Centro, rely on local diesel mechanics to keep the engines running, but the apparatus itself has certain needs. And to be able to get those repaired oftentimes requires travel to San Diego, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and beyond, and the chief can speak more to that. So one of the things as we talked about the potential use down the road, and again, this is a vision for something that could be in the future, would be to include a potential repair facility for use countywide and to be able to recoup some of the funds through contract and repairs for fire service. There's a lot that would have to be laid out before that could happen. But again, as we were brainstorming, these are some of the things that we're discussing. I don't know if the chief has anything more to say about that, but just some of the topics as a committee that was discussed.
So, yeah, based on that, if we're talking about NGOs, I am 100% against the city being a sponsor of any night shelter. If it's a collaboration and we work with someone who's at, but I don't personally feel that that's where we should be focusing in. Cooling centers, stuff like that work in operating hours. But I think that that's moving beyond the scope of our purview as far as a city. Now, that's just my own personal opinion. I will tell you that, look, I'm always for, I agree with Chief and yourself that partnering these things up will make sense in the area. We're kind of, I'm just looking at the financial hit to this because this has to work in a very particular way in my mind. It can't be, okay, we're just going to do this and hope that things come out the way that they are. And I know that this, I think you're getting at that you're just asking for permission for the initial launch to see if you can put in for it. So, but I do want, yeah, and I'm fully aware of old buildings. I mean, I worked in one for many years that they just tore down. So, and we have other older buildings, and I would love to make sure that we have a new station for you guys. I think it's time. But again, on the horizon, with the need for the growth and a brand new station. Now, I think it's because of the proximity of where it is and that it's already city property that this center, and this doesn't go hand in hand with Station 4, where that would need to go, because it's not really in the civic area where it could have the best impact. At least in my mind, that's the way I'm seeing it. But I do want to be very mindful that if we ask for a grant and we receive a grant, we're able to proceed and we have strategic steps already identified at how to do that. So it doesn't become, okay, we got the money, now what do we do type thing. If I'm not trying to say that's where we're at. I know we're in the initial stage, but is that the ask is here just to launch for the grant itself?
Yes, to submit a grant application for the amount of $10 million. And through this process, we will come up with a collaborative governance structure. We will be outreaching to nonprofits. The city, you're right, in the way we've currently discussed it, we are not proposing to run a night shelter as a city. This is why we're leaning on partners who can specialize in that. As a city, I think you're right, we're currently not equipped to run something of that magnitude. That's not our area of expertise. Right. One of the things that we've noticed, though, is our nonprofits are not comfortable building any type of structure. And so they're good at operations, but the construction part is the difficult element. For us as a city, we're used to constructing facilities, but we're not used to operating those types of facilities. And so this allows us to lean on them in the operations, but get them started with something through the construction of a building.
So we're earmarking a portion of this out to that, so we can.
Yes, this is working in collaboration with some of our partners.
Okay.
Each of them will also have a set of responsibilities. The grant it's a lot of work, and this is why we're leaning on California Consulting, because of the amount of partnerships it's required and the amount of due diligence in such a short time frame.
No, and that was one of the reasons why I was trying to ask these clarifying questions, because I know this is a lot of work, and I just don't, I want to be able to see beyond down the road a little bit, so.
Mayor Crankshaw, I want to clarify that when I said we, I mean, as a city, it's very well known that the city of El Centro has been against any type of shelters, day or night. And I'm not saying for us to operate them, because that's what Catholic Charities does for the unison that they do with the day center and so forth, and the monies that we provide them to run it. But I'm also saying that we also have to care for those individuals after the hours of 4 or 6, whenever it closes, and be able to have a night shelter. And I've reached out, I think twice already, to ask for a night tour and haven't received a response yet for the San Diego area that has one. But I'm not saying the city run it, but we work in collaboration, as this grant is stating here, for others who have the experience and the knowledge and have done it already to do it. And that's why I think it's important that we have, that this is there, because right now we have, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Sawyer, but I believe we only have one cooling center, and that's at the Valley Mall.
Yes, we do have hydration centers throughout the valley, but we only have one that we operate.
And, so it's difficult to get somebody who's maybe homeless or doesn't have a vehicle out to the mall to sit in the food court area and so forth. So it is important that we look at these things. And though we may not be the direct provider, we can be the supporter through the monies that we continue to give and the buildings that we build through grants like this.
Well, and I agree that through this conversation, we've been able to clarify those items. So I think that was a good.
And you won't hear anything back until 2027?
Yes.
Early.
Yes. Well, we haven't submitted a grant application. We haven't even gotten approved to submit it.
No, but I'm just saying,
yes,
we're working in
and
a
it's a
2-year
long
span.
time
Yes.
with these. They give you, I think this grant is 3 years, 4 years, in order for you to really move it forward. So there is a lot of time, but even then, when you're working throughout the process, it does take a significant amount. I know Chief has already done a lot of due diligence on Fire Station 1 that was done, I think, a while before. There was a concept, right? That was.
We've done some initial design back in 2022, 2023. Feasibility study for relocating station. Right.
So can we make a motion at this point?
Well, I just wanted to make sure, any questions on this side? Okay, yes. There's a action request here, motion.
I'll make a motion to authorize the approval of submittal of a grant application for the California Strategic Growth Council Community Resilience Center Program grant.
I'll second.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you,
Motion
Chief.
passes 5-0.
Okay, item number 19, discussion of any action regarding the appointment of voting delegate and alternate for the League of Cities annual conference and expo, September 23rd, 25th. And it's presented by me. At this time, I would be appointing, or my recommendation to appoint would be Councilman Marroquin, and I would be the alternate.
I'd like to make a statement on that.
Okay.
I think that we should respect our roles when we're given voting assignments. I know last time I went to SCAG, I was appointed as the voting delegate, and when I got up there, Ms. Marroquin was there and voting for me. I just want to make sure that we have some communication on that. And I would state that because I did not get an opportunity to vote, though I was present, that I would like to be considered as the alternate.
But just to clarify, although you might have been in the proximity, but you were not in the room at the time when
I
they were
was in
looking
the
for the
room.
delegates?
I went and you were already there.
Well,
You know, so this is,
so with this, let me go ahead and amend my, that I recommend that Councilmember Marquine will be the one elected, and then Councilmember Camarena will be the alternate. I believe that and the League of Cities, this is the one you're president.
yes, the president of the division, the Imperial County Division of the California League of Cities.
And I wanted to confirm that you were able to confirm that
Yes.
there was no conflict.
And
of
so
interest.
because I have also been appointed to the Resolutions Committee, I verified with our representative from California League of Cities, Catherine Hill, that there is no conflict for me to serve as the voting delegate and as well as to serve on the Resolutions Committee.
Do I have a motion for that? Or actually, I made the motion, so do I have a second?
I'll second that, please.
Motion and second.
Motion passes 5-0.
We will be moving on to the task force reports. And Councilmember Marquine, if you could start us, please.
Okay, so we had, at the end of July, we had our hospital board meeting, and, you know, I was happy to report that we are one more step closer to merging El Centro Regional Medical Center into the Imperial Valley Healthcare District. So the progress is moving along. I know that it had been at a standstill for a while because of the bondholder, I guess, you know, I'm not sure which, you know, not wanting to or not willing to transfer the bonds over to the new healthcare district, and that's what was holding this matter up. So, you know, thank goodness we came to an agreement, and it's moving along. So we also had a special meeting of the Friends of El Centro Community Foundation to put the finishing touches on the cornhole tournament that is coming up on Saturday, September the 5th at the Martin Luther King Pavilion. And this past Friday, I was honored to present a proclamation for International Lifeguard Day at the Aquatic Center. So I went out there to personally read the proclamation on behalf of Mayor Crankshaw, and surrounded by a group of young lifeguards out there that were braving the heat, you know, to provide, you know, that safety factor to all of those in attendance at the movie night at the Aquatic Center. And let me tell you, there was quite a few people, lively group of people that were there, and had a DJ and food vendors outside. And so, you know, just kudos to all of the staff at the Aquatic Center and the lifeguards, you know, because without them, that Aquatic Center would not be able to operate. And, you know, I just would like to mention that a longtime friend of mine, Mrs. Betty Sampson, who served as a council member for the City of Imperial for 28 years, passed away recently. And so I was at her funeral services. Her daughter, Michelle, has been a longtime friend of mine. And tomorrow evening, they will be honoring Mrs. Sampson at the Imperial City Council meeting. So I plan to attend to be there to, you know, to honor her and to recognize, the fact that she served her community for so many years, and she will be greatly missed. So.
Thank you very much. Marty?
Yes, in Wednesday, July 22nd, Councilmember Camarena and myself attended the One Well Health grand opening and ribbon cutting. They specialize in helping adults and children with special needs and have clients here. They are based in Philadelphia, but they have their closest office is San Diego. They've been servicing Imperial County for a year remotely from San Diego, and simply just opened up office a couple of doors down from us on State Street. So it was great to meet them and welcome them, and looking forward to their servicing much more, more clients here, special needs clients in El Centro. Then just this last Saturday, August 1st, I'm the representative to the Citizens Advisory Committee for Centinela State Prison, and Councilmember Camarena is the alternate. And this is the annual shoe giveaway. Years ago, they would give away bicycles. Let me back up a bit, because there's fundraisers to sponsor these things, and the fundraisers actually come from the inmates themselves in Centinela State Prison, whether it's selling food or other items, that they raise these funds, and this committee helps them or the arms basically that they have, to be able to carry out some charitable event, which used to be bicycles many years ago, but since COVID, bicycles are just not available like they used to be, supply chain issues. So we switched to shoes. So right before school starts, these children that are identified locally are able to show up, and they're contacted and able to show up and get a new pair of shoes at Skeeter's, and with the funds that are raised from the prisoners in Centinela State Prison. So it's a great event. Last year, I think we gave away 69 pairs of shoes to young people from all over the valley, very well represented. And this year it was 166 pairs of shoes, I believe. It was a large crowd. That's because other people had seen the success of this event and kind of jumped in with other sponsors. So what we're really interested in, at the committee, is recognizing the prisoners, their fundraiser, they're making this happen, and us trying to be in the arms for that, to make that happen on the outside. So Councilmember Camarena and I are working with Ken Phillips, the director of programming there, and the warden, to be able to present them with a plaque of recognition out there for what they've done. So it was a great event, very hot, lots of kids, but it's very well organized, and it was a great event. So thank you.
Very good, thank you.
I went to the JPIA event. Very nice event, very good hospitality. They always show their best. And they had, it was just voting. They voted in their new president and vice president and treasurer and secretary, just for the new fiscal year. So it was a very nice event, getting to see everybody, and they're asking about each city and how things are going here. And then I'm also on the ICTC committee, and we went dark this month. So they took a break. So next month we will reconvene. So that'll be nice. So, and the hospital board meeting, I'm also on that, and you heard Councilmember Monte King give a report. We are definitely excited about that report. And the downtown and homeless committee, Mayor Pro Tem and I sit on that committee, and we will be having I would say it's a meeting amongst the downtown business owners on Tuesday, a week from today, at 9 a.m. So that's going to be interesting, because we really want them to come out and give their opinions, their voices. It's just, if we don't communicate, we don't know what each other is thinking. It's been a while since we talked to each other and to see where things are going. I know that we meet often with the committee, and we're pushing for things to get accomplished. And it just takes us to work as a team to move forward and get those things accomplished. So we really want people to come out that day. And it's slow in the summer, but it hasn't been slow for me. I go out and I meet and I talk to the people and see what they have to say. And it's a lot of people out there that are concerned about the difference with the data center. People came and spoke. There's a lot of people that are concerned about a lot of things that are going on in El Centro. And I tell them to come to the meetings, give their opinions, talk about things that they want to say. And I really wish they would, and I'm gonna enforce that more because a lot of them have a lot of good things that they would like to say and bring to the table. They just need to come and let their voice be heard. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem?
I think everyone touched on what I've already was going to say, but I do want to just touch a little on what Councilmember Carter stated. We would really like for the public to also come out to that meeting on the 11th at 9 a.m. at the old post office pavilion. I know it's been about a year since we spoke with everyone, but we do have a lot of information to share about things that are coming, being passed through for approvals and that are hopefully coming. And I think once everybody can see where we're going, you'll be able to say there is something going on. Unfortunately, with social media, there's a lot of misinformation. It's one-sided, and we don't always get the opportunity to respond and so forth. So with this, we wanted to be able to let everyone know where that information is, what it is, I'm sorry, how it addressed last year's concerns and the new concerns that are coming in so that we can continue going forward. I believe individuals will be pleased with what's coming for downtown, and we hope to see all of you there. Thank you.
Where is it going to be held?
Old Post Office Pavilion, 9
Oh,
a.m.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Mhm.
Good setup, good setup. Well, obviously, I'd like to start off by, our prayers are with Mrs. Sampson's family. She was a staple to the community. I found her as to be an extremely very nice lady, and she'll be missed. So in regards to the hospital meeting, this is something that is coming to fruition, we hope. Everything seems to be moving in a positive path. And I want to reach out to our staff that has had, to have to work on some of these issues. And then the staff of the hospital, at both hospitals, actually. That's a lot of stress to have to deal with when you're not sure what, where you're working, how you're working. So it's, no matter what, it's just something I think that they're a part of our community, and we want to make sure that they're all whole. So hopefully this will be a great venture and will work out positively for the entire valley. We had the opportunity to go to Yuma last week. We met with the Yuma mayor and chief of staff, and it was about community development collaborations. And we really hit it off. It seemed to be a really good meeting. Sometimes you go to these meetings and they're just like, okay, appreciate the time, and it was nice to shake your hand and move on. This one had some meat on the bones in regards to information, and I thought that there's some good things that we can bring back. In fact, I'm hoping to invite him as a guest of us to the next League of Cities to kind of see what we got going. But there is a desire between Yuma and El Centro to work, and even with perhaps San Luis and Mexicali in community development areas. So this is something that a pilot they're working on, and certainly we would like to maybe piggyback on that. So we'll see how that goes as we move forward. Finally, we went to, myself and City Manager Sawyer went to an IID collaboration meeting yesterday in regards to emergency response, not in the sense as much as public safety, but is in resources. How do we have the resources set up, contact sheets, stuff like that. So it is something that they do in the Coachella Valley, it appears, and they've had a success in the collaboration of the other cities. All the cities, the mayors and city managers were invited. There was a very good turnout, I felt. And it was a good opportunity to network and to hear what IID had a couple presentations, and I believe it was helpful. Everything else has been pretty much said, so that will be it for mine. And then I'll move on over to the city manager report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. So let me welcome our newest employees, soon-to-be employees with the Law Enforcement Coordination Center. Thank you guys for your patience and for all you do for the community. I do want to recognize, yes?
I'm sorry, and I saw when Tom left, I should have gave him the opportunity to come up, and I wanted to give you guys, if there's anything you'd like to come up and say, or just hide in the back, that's fine as well. So, but you're more than welcome, if you'd like to, please. I'm sorry, Robert. I jumped
No,
in
that's
on
fine.
that. But when Tom left, I was like, oh, okay.
I just want to say thank you to the council, to Mr. Mayor, to Mr. Sawyer for your support, Chief Kelly. We are here to serve our community. We've been proud members of the LECC and staff for over 20 years. So we just thank you all for your support.
Very good. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I can see you're not coming up, so I'm
So
On behalf of both.
Pardon me?
She spoke on behalf of both.
That's what a
And
good
Tom.
assistant director does.
Yeah.
So to that extent, I do want to recognize our city attorney, Joanna Hoff, and our human resource director, Dulce Bedoya. They really did get this project done for me. It was a project that it was near and dear to me to get the LACC employees on, based on my personal experiences with them as well. But it was a heavy lift, and there was quite a bit down to the wire on getting contracts apart and everything. So thank you to both of those employees and for their assistance with this project. Over the weekend, I want to thank the police department and the entire command staff at the police department. They held a tour of their new facility for retirees and former employees. It was attended by approximately 40 people, maybe more, Chief. It was very well attended. I felt like a family reunion. And I think I'm the only employed person with the city. I know that we have a mayor here, but that had the opportunity to work with almost every single one of those employees throughout my career. So it really was truly a very well attended, a very touching moment for me personally, but very well done by our police department, with a special edition that a little bit of a tearjerker that I won't steal the thunder from the police department. But if you have an opportunity to do the tour, which will be open to the public and to our city employees here in the very near future, please make sure you do so. It's a fabulous building. Pays tribute to those that have walked the hallways before us, and some of those that have fallen in the line of duty in a manner that just is very fitting. So again, thank you to police staff and everything on that. The mayor mentioned we had the meeting with IID. We have a meeting tomorrow with NAF, and we have future meetings with, maybe that looks there. We have future meetings with IID coming up as well. It seems like every single day is meeting packed. So for those employees that are waiting for responses on emails, my apologies. Thank you for your patience, but out of an 8-hour day, which is never an 8-hour day, it feels like there's 16 hours of meetings in there. So with that, thank council for all your support, everything you've done for us as employees. Thank you for getting the resolutions across the line for employment. I know our city staff has been eager to get that done, and each and every one of you worked diligently towards making that happen. So from my stance, thank you for that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Well, I will echo that for the city staff of that, but I will also throw a kudo out to our city attorney, because I probably will owe you an apology when this is all done, but you're not getting it until it's all done. We are working diligently to try to get all these resolutions through, and you're being a trooper in that, so I really appreciate that. We really do, all of us do. But if we say it now, then you may slow down, and we don't want that to happen. Uh,
Don't listen to him.
Again, I'd like to
Please don't
thank
listen to
our.
Can I say that she's one-handedly doing it?
Yeah,
him.
that's why I'm talking smack over here, because she don't even know. Thank you for our city clerk for what they do as well. And then on a final, I did take the tour, and I will tell you that I believe I may have been the only one, but I ate a donut. Everyone was like, oh, I'm going to take give me that big old chocolate donut. I know you can't tell, but yeah, I scarfed that thing down before
Did you
anyone
have
else.
coffee with it?
Oh, I had coffee, yeah,
Good for you.
absolutely. But it was an amazing tour. I love the building. I hate you guys for being able to work in that building, since we had that old building. And Brad, I sympathize with the chief and Station 1 over there, and I know exactly what you're talking about with that. You know, we almost could be talking red tag type stuff here.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I'm
Well,
telling
look,
you.
I mean, but we're working on it. But I do want to thank everyone as we move forward. Summers are busy, especially Adriana's staff and everyone. They're busy for us right now because it happens to be when we're all trying to get through these resolutions. But it's not always easy to obviously live here in the summer, and I think we all would love to get out of here whenever possible. And sometimes work's not allowing us to do that. So as we do all the time, we commend you for your work, and certainly during this incredible and unfortunate still occurring heat wave that we will have for another 18 months. So
Mayor, I have one other thing I forgot. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Carla Mason. She's out ill tonight, but the summer programs at the
Oh,
library
yes.
were
Phenomenal.
amazing.
Mhm.
Record attendance again this year. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, meetings don't allow me to attend some of the events that I would like to. But I did have the pleasure of being drug along by our deputy chief and our chief of police. Came and freed me from the shackles of my desk and took me over to the library for the final day when they were allowing the children that attended it to buy the toys with their hard-earned money through the program. It was a very touching event, very well attended, and even those that were not part of that program, the library was still very active in other areas. So kudos to Carla and her staff for everything that they did on that. I think that we overlook a lot of the programs we have here, and everything from the aquatic center to the
MLK.
library to MLK, all the senior programs. We have a ton of projects and activities for our community. And to those members of our community that are not taking advantage of it, get involved because they're out there. Our city staff is eager to get everybody involved and have record attendance next year as well. So thank you.
So I have the unique position that I thought when I was with the city of Brawley that their Parks and Rec, and they did a great job, and their library, Margie, she was a wonderful librarian, and they did a really good job, lots of programs. And I thought, man, this can't be topped. And then I did a short stint in the city of Imperial, and they had it even higher capacity, and they were working their parks, and they were working their events, and their library was going off with lots of events. And I thought, wow, they did it. They were kind of busier. Nothing touches here. And I think with that appreciation, watching that happen, both the library and all the events that we do, it is a commitment to our community, and I love it. So well done. That you have everything yet? Okay. Well, we're going to have kind of a special thing. This will conclude our meeting of this council. And now we're opening up a special meeting.
Yes.
Sorry about that, folks. But this one, I promise, will be quick. All right. City Clerk, can we get roll call, please?
Councilmember Carter,
Present.
Councilmember Allen,
Present.
Councilmember Marroquin,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Camarena,
Present.
Mayor Crenshaw.
Present.
We have a quorum.
We will bypass the other items since we've already gone through that. I will read the public comments. The city council welcomes your input. At this time, members of the public may address the city council on any matters that are not listed on the posted agenda. Pursuant to the Brown Act, no action will be taken on any issues brought forth under public comments. We ask that you please complete a speaker slip and submit that to the city clerk prior to the start of the meeting. Although you are not required to identify yourself, this information on the speaker slips assists the mayor and that all persons wishing to address the council or recognize also assists the city clerk in preparing the city council minutes. Unless the mayor extends your time, there is a 3-minute time limit for each public presentation. Any information provided on the speaker slip is voluntary and will be public record. City clerk, do we have any public comments?
No, we don't, Mayor.
None on Zoom?
None on Zoom.
Seeing that there is no public comments, that section is closed, and we'll move on to new business. New business, item number 1, recession of the cancellation and reinstatement of the regular city council meeting for August 18th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I will second.
Motion and second?
We're going to vote by roll call. Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Elliott?
Yes.
Councilmember Marroquin?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Camarena?
Yes.
Mayor Cranshaw?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
And with that, that concludes the meeting.